got to get some people on here. We've got a few people. I'm going to wave at everyone. Maggie, I know you're hanging tight. We're going to give it just a few more seconds for people hopping on. Welcome back to JChats. We've been gone for the past 2 weeks, but we are back with episode 8. And tonight I have Maggie Graff with Ignite VA. We're going to be talking all kinds of things about supporting our VAs, supporting our local music scene, what we can do to help each other. And before I do get to that, I did want to bring up what I just said, talking about us out here helping each other out. So we're all about wanting to make sure that our local music scene is seen, it's heard. That we're not just Richmond, Virginia, another talented city. We're a talented city full of talented people. And all of us here at RV want to continue to support everyone out there. So if you've got some time, please share our posts. Anything that we post about, we post a lot. Liner notes, JChats. We're posting local music every single Friday. If you guys can take a second, go over to our website. We've got a Buy Me a Coffee link. We've got different ways too that you can help out here at RVA, because again, we love what we're doing. We love being able to talk to all kinds of local artists, whether it be musical artists, business owners, production, again, whatever it is. There's so many cool people out there. We want to keep helping support you. So check out our website, check out our links on our Instagram page here, RVA. We really, really appreciate it, guys. But let's get to it, because we're here to talk to Maggie at Ignite. Hello, everyone. Maggie, let's see. I'm going to send you a request to join. Super, super excited to be back. And again, guys, check out my background. Elijah and Ryan, you guys did an amazing job. Let's see. How do I do this? Why do I always forget? Sent the request.
Okay.
I know.
I've never done this before.
No, you're totally fine.
There we go. We got it.
JChat. So the first episode I did with the amazing Marilyn fam, and bless her heart, from so I'm paranoid every single time. Guys, Maggie's here. If either of us are cut off, please somebody let us know. But this is Maggie Graff, and she is with Ignited VA. Talk about yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hey. Sorry, it's cutting off a little bit, but I think it'll mellow out in a second. It could just be me, but hello. My name. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's probably me. You go ahead.
It might be if I can't tell. But hey, everybody, my name's Maggie. I'm the founder of Ignited VA, which is an online community for the Central Virginia music industry. And I am thrilled to be here. This is awesome. Like I said, I've never done an IG live before, so this is pretty sweet. It's pretty cool.
I'm excited. Sorry, I actually made some notes this time. Usually I go kind of willy-nilly, but you have taken time to, first of all, you've already been involved in RVA's artistic community. And over, the last 8 months, you've taken time to create this amazing app. And seriously, no, like seriously, anybody I talk to, anybody that has sent me messages, whatever it is, I'm always like, hey, you should check out Ignited, because there's something for everybody, well beyond just being in a band, well beyond just being a recording artist. And it's so cool. You talk about the different things that you have on there, the different things that you've you've put into this app and these different tools that the community has.
Sure.
Like, I could, but I want you to.
Sure, sure. So there's lots of different features. When you first join, you'll see the activity feed, and it's very similar to the user experience of any other newsfeed that you've seen online and other social media apps. It's essentially people that have posted in different groups. And then there are 12 groups, and some of the main ones consist of the pit. And the pit's really cool. It's where people post introductions and promos of what they're doing and getting involved in. There's music news where people can share, industry related news, whether it be local or larger scale news that's relevant. There's a really cool, like, equivalent to Facebook Marketplace, but it's niche because it's within the Ignited app. So it's basically like an in search of or selling group, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking for, event gear or tickets, or you are on the hunt for backing bandmates, like, you can post in there to search for, what the community has to offer essentially. And so activity feed, groups, there's the event calendar on there as well. There's Ignited Insight sessions and Ignited articles, which are really cool. Those are premium features, but those allow you to essentially tune in into those that are, experts in their field per se, and they'll share insight from, their wisdom. Like, for example, we had Rich Stein do the first Ignited article on, what to do as an artist when you're first entering a recording studio. So those are, a preface of what to expect when joining. Those are some of my favorite features, I would say.
That's so cool. And I do want to talk about the premium aspect really quick, because as I
Mm-hmm.
was saying before I had you join in, it's important that we're supporting each other, and there's little ways that we can do it, and it's not asking for a lot. But when you're providing something like what you have through Ignite, and like you said, people aren't just getting, they're not just having a monthly subscription to something. They're essentially getting little mini lessons from people that have been there, done that. They've got,
Right.
Advice to give. People have been posting about wanting videographers, people that are able to help produce
Mm-hmm.
music videos, all
Right.
kinds of different stuff. I asked about an entertainment lawyer, and I want to, give him a shout out because he came so highly recommended.
Justin, yes, he's
Justin,
awesome.
yes. And I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, you have such an amazing community. So talk about the premium feature a little bit more and how our community can help support Ignited even further through the premium portion.
Sure, sure. So, yep, those two features are what are predominantly in that membership. So when you join, you have the option to do free or paid, and the paid membership is $6.99 a month, but that goes towards having access to those insight sessions, the Ignited articles, and then additionally you get member discounts. And right now that consists of a half off, I think it's a half off day pass at VentureX Co-working, which is in Richmond. So you essentially are able to go in, work for a day at a co-working space to get out of your house if you want to, especially if you're a remote worker, and do it for $10 instead of $20. So in
Wow.
the future, I'd love to have more member discounts, but right now, as it stands, that's the one that we've got. So in the future, it'd be awesome to have even more. So you would have access to, like I said, those Ignited member discounts as a premium member,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And as you build, and again, guys, like, go hop on the premium. Do you have a buy me a coffee, a Patreon, anything like that beyond the Ignited app where you're, taking any kind
I
of?
sure don't.
No,
I
that's
sure
it.
don't. I do have, I guess I have an Ignited Venmo. I just remember that. I made that because I saw that you could make one for your business, and there's probably zero activity on that. I have not promoted that. But yes, that is an option. If you feel
I mean,
so kind,
hey,
that would be very sweet, but I am definitely not expecting anything.
no, but listen, and nobody's expecting anything. None of us are. And again, I want to make sure that's clear, but I do want to also talk about, because this is about support. Your app's about support. It's about uplifting the community.
Right.
And for, like you said, you in the future want to be able to offer more membership things, and the only way to do that is through, that growth through being able to have more income and have more opportunities for Ignited to do that. And so, guys, $6.99
Right.
is not bad for what you're getting. So, like, please check it out. I'm not kidding, Maggie. I tell everybody. I tell
That's so awesome.
everybody.
That's the point. I
Everybody.
think word of mouth spreads just so fast. Honestly, I love that method of marketing. Sure. It's authentic too.
How did you come up with this? What was it? What were you like? Oh,
Do you say, how did I come up with this?
yeah.
Um, I would say, let's see. I talked about this a little bit on the Liner Notes podcast, but to be a little bit more brief, I started doing music photography, like mainly concert photography. So I was getting to meet bands, and it was all very small scale, like a lot of venues that didn't offer photo pit passes. That was kind of my side view into the industry, if you will. And I had not been doing it for very long, definitely not expert level or anything like that, but it was so fun. And it was really through that experience I started realizing, like, man, like I wish I could connect with other photographers. Like, obviously Facebook groups exist, and at the time I was in Charlottesville, so even smaller city. And I just felt like there was a lack of a resource, if you will, and I was like, there's something that needs to be created in that sense where I could, have a slew of resources that's very niche, very locally focused, that wasn't just Facebook groups. Because honestly, I felt like Facebook groups were so bot focused, and they weren't very, I guess, just genuine, if I'm being frank. And at the time too, I think it was November 2019. Yeah, that's right. Right before the pandemic, I moved here from Charlottesville, and again, it like reignited that idea of I want to connect with other people that I've never met before, like other bands, other female music photographers, and where do I go besides Facebook? And I was so new, and I didn't even know which Facebook groups to join. If I were, I was like scouring to find things because I was new and I really didn't know that many people here. So truly, it was out of like my own experience, and then partially from hearing other bands and musicians being like, oh, I should connect with that other artist that lives in Charlottesville, or vice versa, like Richmond people talking about Charlottesville artists. And so there is some crossover. So mix of personal firsthand
Which is cool.
experience and hearing it from other people. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, dang, why don't we have something like that? Kind of coming
I
from,
know. I know.
I'll speak for myself. I remember talking to Elijah and Ryan and being like, and sorry, I'm going to open my laptop again. So my phone's probably going to be like, what are you doing? Do you want to connect? No, I don't. So I'm going to give it a second it's going to do it. I promise. Maybe it won't. Anyway, I remember talking to them and being so frustrated and be like, there's so many incredible people in Richmond, and
Right.
there's so little big city, if you will, resources to help artists really be able to show themselves, connect, things like that. And I find out about Hero VIC Ignited, and it's like other people
I
get
know
that
it's starting to happen. It
frustration.
feels awesome. Like I'm all for connection.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like, I mean, my gosh. And again, it's been 8 months, correct?
Yeah. I
Give or
started
take,
it
since.
May 1st of 20. Yeah. Right. Which is insane to me. Honestly, like I wish I had kept a diary at the beginning of when I launched so I could look back on all of my like thoughts and sentiments at the time. It was a lot of not anxiety, but definitely anxiousness of how things were going to be, received. I was curious if there was going to be enough allure or features that, if you will, that were enticing enough. And like the market research I did, if you will, were like small interviews with folks that I knew, and then from their, networks, like asking them to fill out a small survey of like, you know, what would you want to see out of a community, an independent community platform, and things like that. So I didn't do anything expansive, if you will, as far as market research, but I just remember being like, oh man, I do hope that this properly serves this community platform. It has to serve an audience, and it has to serve it tactfully, and it has to serve it strategically. And I was like, if it's not checking certain boxes, then what am I doing really, But you're right, it's been 8 months, which is pretty insane. So I'm excited to see where I'll be at this time next year and where all of the members will be and what the growth is going to look like. So yeah, extremely excited for that. I could probably talk about that all day long.
No, and like heck yeah, because it just seems like everybody knows who you are or what Ignited is, and
Do
those
they?
that don't are
That's
well,
hey.
number one, either that or those that don't are talking to people about it, and it's so
So cool.
funny, like to watch the different posts in the pit and to see the different responses and the different like new members joining and being
Hmm.
like, hey, I'm so and so and I do this and I do that, and like connections being made. And every day somebody's like, I'm so glad we have this. And
Yeah.
not to you created something. I mean, there's an obvious need, an obvious want. People are like, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Yeah.
again, like I'm so stoked. I know you just did liner notes, which was really, really, really good too. Tell me about that. Like, how did that feel?
That felt
Did
surreal too because I knew Ryan from I knew Ryan from the app. I forget when she joined, but I was definitely familiar. And then we linked up once before, I believe, through the Ignited Book Club because she's a part of that. So I'd met her in person, I believe, at that point. And I remember her telling me via email, like, hey, we're doing this whole segment, a whole podcast that's related to Here Our VA, and it's going to be fixating on the Richmond music scene. And I was like, that is so cool. And then the fact that they reached out to me, I was like, wait a minute. It's like, first of all, I've never been on a podcast. I was like, this is so cool. So I was just thrilled in every capacity to even be considered, especially since I thought it was going to be fixating mainly on musicians. But I think it's so cool that Liner Notes decided to also include businesses surrounding musicians too, because that's also important. So resources
heck
for
yeah.
those musicians. Yep. So just beyond grateful that they wanted to include Ignited in their liner notes. Show was really cool. And then actually being interviewed, oh my gosh. Like I'm not a nervous gal, but I just remember walking up and there were like 5 cameras and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I walked up the stairs and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, let's do it. Let's boogie. And it was great. It was so fun. It was fun, but I definitely was like, I truly didn't know what to expect as far as setup. They had mentioned that it was going to be obviously visual too, since there's such great visual artists within the Hero RVA team. So I was just like
Yes.
blown away by the setup in that room. It was very cool, very professionally done. So just excited to see the reception for liner notes that's going to continue. You know.
Yeah. You guys slayed it, and you're correct. Like artists, I mean, these guys are artists. You've got Ryan out there, such a like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
guys. C+_RL Moses, giving you a shout out. She creates some of the most fantastic local
Yep.
art. Has
Yep.
this piece. It's about the South Side, D'Angelo. It's beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's also here RVA sticker. Guys, you can go get it
Yep.
while you're getting onto your premium membership with Ignite. But I want to say hey for a second because if you see me like leaning forward, Maggie, I'm like waving at people in the chat and just saying hello.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I haven't even looked
re-
at this chat. This whole IG
oh,
live thing is crazy. This is so cool.
it's no worries.
Sweet.
I try to keep an eye on it so that you can focus on like talking about what you got going on. Like I'm seriously just kind of in awe right now because I remember reaching out to you too, and I'll be really honest, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but this is how like seriously Ryan and Elijah take liner notes. I didn't realize that you were going to be on liner notes yet, like because when I asked you, I think I was pretty early into JChats, and I was like, hey, what you
Yeah, I
have is
forget when it was, but it was a while
it,
ago.
it, it was a while back, but again, like Ignite is so amazing. It's like what you have is so cool. Like I have to talk to you. And you're like, yeah, it's gonna be around the time I'm on liner notes. And I was like, oh shoot.
It worked
And
out. It worked out, I
it
think.
just so happened, yep, that it was just after. And Elijah and Ryan were so excited. They were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have fun," and she's amazing, and it was a great episode. I mean,
It was, yeah, it was very cool.
like you're just so cool, and for people just popping in, sorry, I'm fangirling on you right now, Maggie. I am talking to
Oh,
Maggie Graff with Ignited VA. I don't know, like, does it show our names? It should show in our collaboration video where
I think
you
it's at
can,
the top, at least in my view.
yes, I believe so. And if not, we're going to have plenty of links on how to follow us. But talking the community, this amazing app, if you don't have it, again, it's Ignited VA. You can go to her Instagram, there's links there. It literally connects the music community together through all kinds of different tools. They've got the pit where you can post about whatever questions, introduce yourselves. I'm looking
Yep.
for this. I do this. I've got this for sale, whatever it is. You've got options to get the premium version where you can get different mini lessons, professional advice, etc., so forth, access to things that are super valuable, especially when
Right.
we're relying on each other to get these tools to really grow our different things that we're doing, our different creations, whether it be music, artwork in many, many different ways. So, Maggie, thank you again. I know that there was a couple of people that you wanted to kind of talk about, different people that you've worked with. So, you want to give it a shout out?
Sure. Sure. Oh my gosh, I'm always here for shout outs, right? So let's see who's first. Let's shout
And
out
I've
Joel
got the
Warford. Let's shout out Joel for a second. He is fantastic. I met him January 2020, I think it was. Or no, 2021. What am I saying? Yeah, a year ago. What is time, right? I did a photo shoot with
exactly.
him and I'd never met him before. He linked up with me. I don't remember how he found me. Maybe it was through Instagram, right? He had an album that was upcoming and he needed artwork for it. Met him for the first time. He's a fabulous human being. He had a very, very set, insightful vision for his album design, look. And I listened to some of his, previous work and I was like, what a phenomenal songwriter, first of all. I was like, just writer in general. You can just tell sometimes by certain songwriting techniques that they're just, a writer soul in general. And I think he falls into that category seamlessly. All this to say, I mean, fantastic human. I remember reaching out to him, a month or two before Ignited was about to launch and just letting him know about it. And I was like, you know, one of the features is going to be a book club. I'd love to have that be like a fun group where people are, it's not a mandatory, not automatically added to it, but it can be there where you can add yourself to the group if you want it, if it interests you, right? Um, and I just thought, I've always wanted to be a part of a music book club. I've never even been a part of a book club. And, you know, AKA, I'm not a great person to facilitate that. But as a community building platform, that's when you reach and lean on to someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable in that world. And I was like, Joel, I just met you a few months ago. You're great. Any chance you'd be down to, co-host this group with me, if you will? Like, I think someone like you you're local, you're mad talented, and I mean, you have a lot of knowledge to be able to spew into this sector of, music, if you will. And he was like, yeah, I'm on board. And he said this before the, you know, web platform and app even launched. Like, he was so sweet. He was like, yeah, absolutely. Even though he didn't really get to see, but like what, a little, like, I think I showed him like a SketchUp or like a web recording of what Ignited was in its infancy right before it launched. He was like, oh yeah, I'm totally game for that. And fast forward to now, we've read 2 books, I think, in the book club, and every Monday we post discussion questions related to chapters read that week, and he and I alternate. So he's just been absolutely wonderful. So I knew I wanted to shout him out tonight at some point, just as someone to listen to for local music, because his music is fantastic, and he released an album this past year that was Chef's Kiss. And because he's such a great Ignited member too. Have you listened to his music at all? He was actually on my playlist that I got for the Here RVA playlist, I believe.
I'm gonna be honest.
There's a lot of
Probably.
musicians on those platforms. Yeah.
Probably. I'm going to, as soon as we get off here, I'm going to make sure I'm going to Joel
Yeah,
Wolford and Ryan C plus, or yeah, C plus RL Moses. It's Ryan. She put his Instagram name up there too, so people can check him out. Yeah, he sounds awesome.
yeah, he's
And
great.
uh,
Fantastic.
sorry, I was looking to see what else other people are saying here too,
Oh
getting
yeah,
some
let's see.
ways. Ryan's laughing at me. She's like, hey. All right.
You
So we've got Joel. I've got your little
want me to
cheat
keep going
list
with
here
shout outs? Is
too.
that
Heck yeah. No, you have to stop. That's it. You only had one. God, Maggie. Just kidding.
okay? Who else
Yes,
should I shout out?
please. Yeah,
Um,
discipline media.
let's see. Rich Stein, I mentioned him earlier when I touched on Ignited articles. He was another one that reached out to me. I think Ignited had been out for a month or so. Like we're talking infancy. Um, and he reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. He just sought me out and was like, hey, this is super cool what you're doing. You know, I've already followed you on Instagram from your photography work, and like I saw that you're starting this platform. And it's like you just launched it 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like, let's meet up for coffee. I just want to pick your brain. And I was like, you know, taken aback in the best way. I was like, no way, he's reaching out to me. Like, this is fantastic. So he met up with me at Venture X at my day job. And I was like, you know, what is this encounter going to be like? I'd never met him, never really talked to him before. And we, no kidding, what was to be like, what, a 30-minute coffee and networking little hangout was like a 3 hour hang. Like, we literally were in our conference room for like, I think it was, yeah, like 5:30 to 8, 9.
Oh,
And we were like, talking about music industry news and what Ignited could be and what he thought, you know, it could eventually turn into and how it could, you know, be of service to producers. Like he's involved in the producing side and just the studio world in general. And I thought that was really interesting insight. And he's just another person that I just feel is such a great local resource. I feel like he's like the third degree of Rich Stein. I feel like so many people know him. So it was cool.
yeah.
And he's a great person to just chat with. Such a fun conversationalist for sure. And he did the first Ignited article, so he contributed right in the beginning because he was such a believer, which I so dearly appreciated at the beginning. Because that's what's hardest about building a community. It's, I will say, you have to get that momentum. You have to leverage your network that you know. And if people don't necessarily buy into it at the beginning, not necessarily financially, I'm talking just emotionally buy into it, then there's no momentum being built, and it's never going to grow. And that's what's scary. The foundation has to be built strongly enough to support growth, and it can't be too quick or else it'll get overwhelming. But he was one that I felt really started to get momentum going at the beginning, which I was endlessly grateful for. So he's another one that definitely deserved a shout out. I felt.
Yes. Rich Stein, I see him pop up a lot on Ignited too. He's super welcoming, always saying hello to everyone.
Yeah.
And like I'm
And that's
seeing a
something I'd
pattern
love to
here
see. You
too.
know, obviously I don't have access to people's DMs, but oh, go ahead. Oh, dang. Mine might have disconnected. Let's see.
No, you lagged for
I
a
might be
second. You're still there.
disconnected. Can you hear me? Okay.
You're
Okay.
you're still there.
I forget. Uh, okay.
It's
Okay.
because people are
I forget what
it's
I was gonna
because
say.
people are loving it. People are loving the post and it's like
Yeah. I think what I was going to say is that obviously everyone can see what's happening in the pit, but I mean, I cannot see what people are DMing each other, of course, but I would love to know, you know, if people are like reaching out to others via messaging, like personal messaging, which that's another feature on the app, is that you can direct message anyone and add people and follow people like you would any other social media platform. But you know, I've had people tell me like in passing, like, oh yeah, I found them on Ignited and we met up. And I was like, oh, this is something I did not know. I would have never known this, you know? And I'm like, those type of encounters and stories, I think, make everything worth the while. But those are things that I don't necessarily see. So when I hear those things said in passing, it just like makes my heart grow 3 sizes, you know? It's like you're the platform is working as it's intended to, if you will. Just
It
super
is.
cool.
I use the messaging.
Cool.
So
Good
there
to
you
know.
go.
Good to know. Glad it's
Another
getting used.
person. I won't blast out who all I message, but there are other people that do use it. Like it's super useful. And I thought that
Right.
I thought me jumping on and being like, does anybody know an entertainment lawyer in Richmond? I thought that was a weird question. I thought people are gonna be like,
No weird questions. And that's what I
Yellow
love about it
Pages.
too, is like it's meant to like delete the gatekeeping that I think sometimes happens in this industry. Like
Well,
I wanted to tear that down a bit to make everything a little bit more accessible.
and you absolutely did. Not only was it not a weird question, um, I got a phenomenal recommendation. I would say recommendations, but it was literally just Justin, very quickly and by numerous people. So I was excited. I mean,
Yeah.
like, again, I kept thinking, and it took me a couple of days, I'll be honest, and I was like, well, shit, why don't I go on Ignited? I'd be like, probably because they're gonna think
Mm-hmm.
I'm weird. You guys didn't think I'm weird,
Oh,
well, you
no, no,
solved it.
no.
So, who else?
Using it as
Keep a
it's
shout out
intended.
on
Who else?
Maggie.
Okay. Let's see. Um, ooh. Whitney of the marketing mixtape. I think she's another one that's just a gem and like waterfall of knowledge. Like I yeah, I think she's such a fantastic member to have on that platform. She contributed an Ignited insight session on booking strategy, and that one was such a cool session. I mean, I even went back and looked at it, and I'm not even a musician. Like, I'm not even trying to book a venue or anything, but I just thought her presentation on that was so jam-packed full of good knowledge to know when booking, when trying to strategize where to book and who to book with and how to find venues when you're trying to create a tour. Like all that was covered in a matter of, I think it was an hour and 15. And she was the first or second Ignited Insight session. She may have been the first. I can't quite remember now. I should know that, but I can't. She was the first or second. So she was very early on. So setting the tone of what insight sessions were going to be like. So she definitely warrants a shout out. The Marketing Mixtape does a lot of great um, content for Richmond artists too that are looking to up their marketing game. So ideally, I'd love to have Whitney back and do other Ignited Insight session topics related to the umbrella of marketing. Maybe that would be like SEO strategy, like Google AdWords and search when you're trying to elevate your marketing, or something like website or um, like email strategy. I remember her mentioning that as an option too. When you're trying to like cold email, I know it sometimes doesn't seem like it would be that difficult, but it can be when you're trying to separate yourself from others. So she's got a lot of different topics that we've discussed that could be future Ignited Insight sessions. So definitely stay tuned, folks listening here. I think that will be coming in the next few months, another installment of Whitney. So she definitely deserved a shout out for sure. She's great.
Yes, you guys
And
are
she's a
hearing it
musician.
here first. Yes, you're hearing it here first. Whitney with the Marketing
Yep.
Mixtape, probably coming back. I hope so. Like, that's super valuable information to have. Again,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can use it
Yep.
in some type of
Yep.
way, whether you're promoting yourself, like all kinds of stuff. Amazing. We love Whitney. What else you got?
Right. I think well, continuing off that, I remember doing a poll not too long ago via Instagram. I think it was Instagram. I don't think I did it in the Ignited app. Yeah, it was on Instagram. Just like picking people's brains again, like what type of Ignited Insight session would you most want to tune into? Would it be marketing? Would it be
Yes.
songwriting? Would it be copyright? Would it be like, all the random facets? And almost like 60 to 70% it was for marketing. So I just feel like that is the most keyed in desire for musicians right now as they want to elevate marketing. I think that's the one that gets picked the most, and I understand why. I definitely understand why. So she'll likely be back pretty soon, sooner than later.
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that poll because, yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember pretty much overwhelming response, like, yes, please. We'll be watching out for that. I'm
Right.
excited. What else you got on your shout
Yeah.
out list?
Um, okay, let's see. So
I
many
do have
people.
your cheat sheet too if you
Um,
need it.
I think I remember another. I put Reese. She's the host for This Room Sounds Great, Shaco Sessions Live. Again, fantastic local leader and just pot of wisdom, like, and just a fabulous soul. Like, she's such a sweet and kind person. Um, her and I linked up in person. Gosh, it feels like forever ago, but I think it was maybe September, maybe August, September. Um, and she was just so welcoming to Ignited. And I remember her, asking me, like, truly, genuinely, how can I help grow Ignited from my network? And I was like, oh man, well, obviously when you have musicians come on and do podcast episodes for This Room Sounds Great, maybe in like the emailing correspondence, or if you do marketing emails, include a graphic about joining Ignited and a link that people can click to it. So I know that she's done that, which is, again, that's a great tool for spreading the word. Um, so she was just very kind to me, very, very kind to me, and deeply appreciative of that, and extending her, um, word of mouth to her network too, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's super cool. That word of mouth, you've said it so much, and I cannot agree more. Word of mouth, telling
Yeah.
people about something that you like, and yep.
Yeah. As a marketing mind, I think that most people, I forget what the stat was like a year or two ago, but I think in the marketing world, depending on what product or service you're selling, but usually word of mouth is what gets through to people the quickest. And you don't even like what is it, the third degrees of marketing tactic. I think really with word of mouth, hearing it once, if it's a genuine response from a friend, there's really not as much of a need to hear it from other places like
Hmm.
ads or, online. It's word of mouth
So
is so valuable, and I highly recommend it.
does it cut out like the typical, you have to have like the five impressions if you're hearing word of mouth? Are you saying from like
I would I would
family,
say,
friends, it's like
yeah,
more
in
direct?
my mind, I think so. I think we're getting to a point with marketing where people are so tired of being sold to, that I think word of mouth is just going to become so much more valuable, if not already. We aren't seeing that already. And in my opinion, if I had
I
to
think
guess.
you're I think you're right. I've, you know, talked to a lot of people over years that have
Hmm.
I've heard consistently too. Word of mouth is the way to go, and shoot, if you're saving money on marketing and you're able
Yeah.
to have that type of, you know, ability to grow from word of mouth, number one, you can
Right.
trust where you're going, you can trust the resource that you're looking to use. But number two, like, I mean, that's good. Everybody likes to save money, but still be able
Yeah,
to provide their service. Do you have any
absolutely.
more shout outs? Like, there's a couple of people I know you wanted to talk about. Like, keep shouting them out if you want.
I think the only other person I didn't mention is Brent. I love this man. I talked about him on the on the Liner Notes podcast episode 2, just to ensure he got the love. But I'm more than happy to extend love again because he's so great. Talk about a member that cares, like genuinely cares about Ignited. I think of him easily as like top 5 people that I think just have been with me since the beginning. Like, he truly was there since the beginning because he revamped my logo. Um, and again, during that Zoom meeting, I'd never met him in person, and I reached out to him and I was like, I need my logo redesigned. And I was telling him a little bit about the context behind the logo and what it was going to mean. And I think he was like, wait, it's going to be an online community? Like, is it going to be a Facebook group? And I was like, no, no, no. It's going to be an independent, like, completely separate type of community. And he's like, huh, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty unique. And I
That
was like,
sounds cool.
you are like, he was like, I'm like, you are my target audience, Brent. I was like, set aside from your design world, the fact that he's a musician and he's involved with designing for musicians, I'm like, you would a build more clientele. I mean, obviously the man's got clients up the wazoo, since I feel like he's involved in so much. But I was like, Brent, this would be great for you to find more people, even expand your network, because it's going to include Charlottesville too. So you've got a lock on Richmond, but if you want to garner more clients that are like an hour away, shoot, you'll be able to find them from the app. That's the whole point. And you'll be able to just share your work with a whole group of people that are like-minded and a little bit more niche than, say, Instagram or Facebook. So I remember he was just like, this is super interesting. Keep me posted of when this launches. And I was like, you are definitely going to be notified.
He's like,
But
I'm
he's
in.
been awesome. And he was very in. He was in from the beginning. I remember he was like, I mean, so on board, which I was so appreciative of. And he contributed an Ignited Insight session in October, I think it was. It was on brand identity. He and I had chatted a couple times before he did it, just to like go over what I thought could be beneficial to the community. And I was asking his opinion of what he thought he should share. And he's like, I think brand identity is a good place to start because it's covering, you know, the soul of, you know, your art, your music, your album, if you will. If you wanted to make a or a band logo, if you wanted to create a seamless identity of an album that would relay easily on merch and like physical copies. That was all covered in his Ignited Insight session. He did such a good job, and he made it very accessible and easy to understand for non-designer folks. So if you're listening and you know you're interested in learning more about that, that Ignited Insight session lives in the menu tab in the app. Highly recommend listening to it.
Shit, I mean, you've literally gone over, what is it, like 3, I think, of some of the main, like, core, if you will, tools that artists really need and thrive off of and are able to grow and expand whatever it is they want to do. And it's so incredible that, again, you created this community, this app that Richmond, Virginia, just packed
We
full
so
of
deserve
people.
it.
We do, and you're amazing.
Yep.
You're so amazing.
Thank you. Honestly, it's the community now. Like, I think it's funny that sometimes I'll have people reach out to either the Ignited Instagram or Facebook sometimes, and they'll be like, hey, we want to meet with this team. And I'm like, oh, no, it's just me. just one gal. But, I mean,
like, huh?
I think eventually the goal is to, this is probably a good segue into some like future goals or what I foresee Ignited to be, but I think in the future it could be really cool to have group admins of certain groups, not all of them, but a couple of them I have in mind, I think could work with certain admins. So, I mean, I'll still be the founder, but I think there is some future opportunities for folks that want to get more involved and have it even just feel even more like it's community driven, where you've got admins and folks getting more involved, if you will. So I think while I quote unquote am the face of it, I still feel like it's supposed to be community driven first, but there has to be a facilitator. But in the future, I'd love to have admins. I think that could be a really cool opportunity for some folks if they wanted to do that.
I think there's a lot of people that would be that. And you said it, there's got to be the facilitator, the AKA, the person putting in the hard work. And guys, this is, again, just one of the many reasons, if you can, support Ignite, support your small local businesses, support your local artists in any way that you can. Maggie's got Ignite VA for $6.99. You've got access to, again, the core tools that artists need, many types of different artists to continue to grow. And it's not a one-time thing. It's things that continue to build, especially as we continue to support each other. So please check it out. Seriously, there's something for everybody there. You're going to enjoy it. Everybody that we
There we go.
My Wi-Fi is the worst. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. It's like I said, I've never done this, so I was sitting here like, I was like, oh, did it end? I was like, oh, okay, it's fine.
It was you broke it. No, it's
well, now I
Wi-Fi.
can see you. Honestly, I can see you so much better. Before you were so blurry. Like now I really can see you in my view, which is nice.
Of course, that's what happened to my last. Brian, I know you're watching. We're getting me a new phone.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think you were in like 280p when I first joined, and I was like, oh, it's probably just my phone or something. But yeah, look at you. I can see you in full res now. We're back. We're back.
So, since you can see me, can you see my background?
Yeah, this is a really cool setup you've got going on. Way cooler than my setup. I just have a window
Oh
going
no,
on.
I like your setup. I like the big window view. No, Elijah and Ryan, they're like, you need cats or JChats. I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah, I love it. This is like the only clean part of my apartment right now because my partner and we're moving, and
Mm-hmm.
literally we have, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I would say like 30 boxes filled with stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I was like, how am I gonna do this live tonight? And I was like, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and have this ring light and like this the only clean section. So
You look fantastic. The house looks fantastic. Congratulations on the new house.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're
I'm
thrilled.
coming no, I'm coming up on my 2 year myself, and I was just talking about this earlier. Like moving sucks.
Oh, it's the
But
worst.
congratulations, because yeah,
Thank
buying
you.
buying a house is also the worst. But you're there.
We're there. We're getting there.
It looks
But yeah.
gorgeous. Well, Maggie, I know that we just got back on, but I did want to at least thank you so much. I'm glad you can see me for like the last few minutes. It's cool.
Yeah.
Getting a new phone soon. Any other hellos that you want to put out there before I have you hop off? I want everybody
I was
to
gonna say, I think I've done all my plugs. I think I've done all my shout outs that I had thought of for
all your
now.
plugs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone that's a member right now, I'm just know that I'm thoroughly appreciative of each one of you. Whenever someone new joins you, I wish you could see my reaction.
Like,
It's always fun. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, yes. And then I stalk and I go on their Instagram and yes, it's all super appreciated. So that's my overall shout out, if you will.
I think you're awesome, and I think it's other people definitely think so, and just the response people have had to ignite it to you, to what you're doing. Keep it up. You're awesome. As soon as I can, I'm getting that premium prescription or prescription. Jeez, it is a prescription. Prescription to the music community.
My gosh, yes. And
Subscription. Jeez.
oh, you're good. You're good. It's a Monday night. You know,
Freudian.
we're still getting back to the groove.
It's a Freudian slip. I need my prescription to Maggie, thank you again so much. I want people to hang out because I am going to be giving some of my own personal shout outs to the music community. But Maggie Graff, follow her. Ignited.
Yeah, follow Ignited VA on Instagram if you don't already. Do it.
Get that
Hopefully, I don't
app.
think you'll regret it. And then get the app. You can download it in the Apple Store or the Google Play for an Android user. It'll be there in both. If you just type in Ignited VA, boom, you'll see it and download it. You can join for free. Try it out. Give it a solid try and see what you think.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
I think you'll
And
enjoy it.
watch her on liner notes as well. Maggie, thank you again. Enjoy the new house.
Thank you. Thank
Congrats.
you. Woo, it's going to
I'll
be a
talk to you
trip.
soon.
But yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
That was Maggie Graff with Ignited VA. Seriously, go follow her. Get the app. You're going to love it. I did want to take a couple of moments to give some shout outs myself. We've got a couple of artists that have really been out here working hard, and just wanted to give some love. We've got CJ the Prophet. He's got With Love out there available to stream. So again, CJ the Prophet, go stream With Love. He's been working super hard. I wanted to give him a shout out because he did something that I'm sure was pretty tough, but I find really admirable. He decided to postpone his show that he had coming up at the end of the month, for safety reasons. And I think that's super fucking cool, and really appreciate CJ doing something, thinking about our community, thinking about Richmond, and saying, you know what, I know people want to see me hear the album more, but we can wait. So CJ the Prophet With Love is streaming. Go listen to him. He's looking out for your community. We've got Dizzy Wanda. He's got Red Bottoms and Bad Habits, two of his singles out right now. He is working on an EP. That is set to release early this year, so I would say within the next month or so. Keep an eye out. I've been following him, posting some behind the scenes things, little teasers here and there, so keep an eye out for Dizzy Wanda. I've also wanted to shout out Burwell Music. They've got Anywhere But Here coming out January 20th. Sounds absolutely delightful. If you have not checked out Burwell Music, please do so. Incredible music, incredible information, stories behind the music. Definitely worth a listen, definitely worth that follow. And we've also got DJ Harrison. He had Tales from the Old Dominion out, and it is fantastic. But what else do you expect from it, DJ Harrison? And last but not least, I did want to thank some local businesses here in Richmond. Loud America, as always, for different clothing, etc. needs. Go check out loud_America with a K. Awesome products. Definitely want to give them a follow. If you enjoy delicious jams, pickled veggies, pickled different things, fun little candles, gift sets, things like that, you need to go check out Damn That's My Jam. It's DAYUM. That's my jam. Seriously, eat this stuff by the jar with the spoon. Go check out Andy, support them. Fantastic, fantastic jams. So many different flavors. Apple butters, pickled veggies, pickles, all kinds of stuff. You're going to get addicted. Damn, that's my jam. And Orbital Music Park. They hosted Here Are VA's 2022 Vision Cast and meetings, and they're just amazing. Another place here in Richmond that's doing the right thing for the community. They do require masks, so please check them out. But this is a space where you can go practice if you don't have a practice space for yourself. They have instruments available, recording spaces. You can jam with other people. Really, really cool spot. Really cool people. Orbital Music Park. Definitely give them a follow. Check them out. Guys, I'm really excited to be back with JChats. This is episode 5 with Maggie Graff from Ignited. I've got a full schedule coming up. I think I am booked until the beginning of March. Keep an eye out later this week to find out who we have up next week. And I want to hear from you guys too. If there's somebody that you'd like to see on, things that you would like to talk about, hear about, whatever it might be, please let me know. Hit me up at HereRVA JChats, or of course at the HereRVA Instagram page. I've missed you guys. We're back. We'll see you guys next Monday at 9 p.m. Otherwise, I'm very tired.